Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Juso responded to Rhea Ripley's social media post via Instagram story. The Eradicator desired the former tag team champion in several times on his birthday. The team of Jay and Sami Zayn were recently triumphant over J.D. McDonough and Finn Balor of the Judgment Day. They see the WWE World Tag from here Committee Championship aside. Ripley and Dean, also fighting with their priests, have been erstwhile allies, and Liv Morgan, following getting deceived at SummerSlam. In his Instagram narrative, Jordan responded in an unusual way to Ripley's B-Day wish search. A screenshot of Jay's Raw J Instagram narrative stated his desire to challenge Intercontinental Breaker champion. The recently appointed one has made public that a competition will choose his next challenger. Matt Camp expects Rhea Ripley to triumph for her group at Berlin's Bash at the next Celebration and Berlin Premium Live events. Rhea Ripley and Damon Priest will meet Liv Morgan and Dominici Mysterio. A mixed tag team performance addressing the Wrestling Mat podcast. Former WWE individuals Matt Camp projected Ripley would guarantee her side's winning by pinning. Morgan said, "I would assume you arranged the Rhea against live rematching for Bad Blood, maybe Hell in a Cell. Any type of major gimmicks match. I fail to find out if you see a Priest or Dom or Bishop against Finn next month, but I would have to believe Rhea picks Pin in Live to arrange the rematch in SummerSlam." Rhea Ripley represented deceived by Dominic Mysterio, who supported Liv Morgan, preserves the World of Women Championship on most recent version of Monday Evening Raw. Ripley and Damian the Judgment pulled Priest from here. During SummerSlam, the Priest betrayed his former tag team ally Finn Balor, who cost him the heavyweight world title challenge against Gunther. J. USO sat alone in a poorly lit locker room. The weight of lately occurring events heavily on his fills the space with the shoulders were present. Sounds of subdued footsteps and talking repeating far away, yet Jay paid little attention to mind the bustle of daily life. Outside his awareness was another lost in the anarchy that had evolved into his existence. Always after he decided to drop off, his phone hummed on the seat. Bloodline beside him, pulling him out of his ideas, accompanied by a sigh. He stretched over, grabbed it, and gently widened his eyes. As he watched the TV, Rhea saw the name. Ripley hadn't spoken anything, and their encounters had always been short, essentially in passing, backstage, but something about her attracted my attention. His consciousness, Rhea, differed from everyone else. In WWE, sharp and erratic, strongly autonomous. He paused for a bit, then opened the indication, curiosity winning the better of him. The words turned back at him, just filled with significance. "Hearing you left behind the bloodline, about time you performed your own aspect. Respect." Jay's lips curved into half as he read the note, smile as it was normal for Rhea. Simple, no, straightforward, with a trace of that rebel spirit she was renowned for. He nearly could hear her voice stating those words, slanted with that known edge, using defiance. But what most fascinated him came from the final word, respect. Coming from Rhea meant something she wasn't one for to toss praises or provide gifts. Thank you gently. If she claimed to respect, it was because you earned it. Jay slanted back against the wall, his thoughts accelerating. Rhea has been causing waves within WWE, forging her own route in the women's split with her merciless intensity, therefore relentless resolve she possessed, matched her alignment with the Judgment Day, a segment that grew well on anarchy and damage. Yet, in spite of their gloom undertones, There seemed to be something about Rhea that connected with Jay. She was strongly faithful to those she trusted, and she battled for beliefs she held, even if it meant in many respects being alone. In many ways, she made him remember himself. He had spent years committed to Roman Reigns, and the bloodline accomplished everything in his could preserve the legacy of the family, but eventually it had all become too much. The strain the manipulation causes, continuous doubt about his own character, it had gotten him to a breaking point. Rhea's note served as a reminder of his wasn't alone himself. There were those who grasped what it meant. Release the bonds that bind. They must create their own road, even if it meant straying from what they had known. He considered his reaction long ago. What could he say that wouldn't seem repetitious or cliched or misleading? Rhea was someone that respected genuineness, and he sought to meet her on that level. Last, after what felt, Ted answered as if an eternity. Have to stand on my own value, the respect. Rhea, you are among the few who understands. He then sent the message. Started to feel relief right away. Wasn't much, but the truth, and if he had learned one thing in particular in this company, honesty, was that it was often the most difficult thing he finds surprising. Rhea answered very instantly. We all knew what to do. Right for us, keep your head up. Jay, that, though difficult, the journey ahead is worthwhile. Jay nodded in accord, unable to help but, as he turned her words around, the road ahead wasn't simple. He understood that better than anyone else except Rhea was correct. It was worthwhile. First time in a long period, he felt as if he could regulate his own fate. As the evening went on, Jay discovered himself pondering more and ever more about Rhea's letter. It wasn't just the words themselves he kept with him, was the fundamental link he detected. She was a fighter as well, engaging conflicts others were unable to start to see. They both understood what it means to be caught in expectations, to feel the weight of the planet on their shoulders and yet forward without considering the expenses. The next week on SmackDown, Jay discovered himself behind scenes, getting ready for his game. He was sprinting, using his customary pre-match schedule, during which, hearing a familiar voice behind him, he turned. He turned to find Rhea Ripley. Her presence there is like such directive. As always, she wore her characteristic leather jacket with her dark eyes riveted on him with a fervor so made it quite clear she wasn't here for little conversation. Rhea. Jay nodded to meet her. She acknowledged by crossing her arms over her chest. A little smile was playing on her lips. Were ready for tonight. Jay shrugged, attempting to project professionalism. Always. Rhea looked at him for a second before I spoke once more. I missed here to provide anything, even a motivational talk. However, I meant what I said. Respect, Jay. You have guts leaving the scene. Bloodline. Jay looked at her, feeling the